Welcome to the Albert and Billy Show on Channel 18 Valley TV, WUAT Radio, and you can always check us out on YouTube. You can watch every episode of the Albert and Billy Show on YouTube. Just type in the Albert and Billy Show YouTube, and you can also go to my Facebook page, Billy Bridges, and we have a lot of the episodes posted on my Facebook page as well. You can check out my Facebook page, especially for the new ones. I always share it to.
So that gives you 4 options.
Yeah, pretty good, isn't it?
WAT, Channel 18,
and
YouTube,
or go to my Facebook, or go to my Facebook page.
What's next?
I don't know, but when I think of it, I'll let you know.
if we could get on Trump's Twitter,
yeah, Twitter,
it would go viral.
You already said. We went viral 5 or 6 times, Papa.
Well, I know, but
somehow.
But wouldn't you like to think that Trump picked us out to talk about us?
But it's Trump's Twitter.
Yeah.
You said Trump's Twitter.
Well, he tweets.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
You got that part right.
Yeah.
Hey, that was funny. I couldn't pass it up. It made Allie laugh too. Oh, Trump's Twitter.
He's having a time with one of his ex-aides.
Is he? He needs to stay off of Twitter.
That would help.
Like, you would think his team around him would cut him off of Twitter.
Well,
if I was one of his handlers, I'd be like, no Twitter for you.
Well, one of his guys wrote a book about him. And see, that's what all the hullabaloo is about right now.
Okay.
Is the book. And then this morning, the guy that wrote the book, or he didn't really write it. He had somebody else to write it, but he told him what to write.
Of course, yeah.
He's kind of apologized now because everybody's cut him off. He's out floating on an iceberg out in the Atlantic Ocean.
They're all mad at him now,
They're all mad at him now.
He went against them.
But we don't know how much truth he told.
And that's true too, and may not ever know, especially if it's a case of he said, I guess in this case.
I think more to sum it all down as succinctly as I can. I think he said that Trump was an imbecile.
Oh, wow.
That's about what it boiled down to.
They're definitely not friends no more, are they?
He made fun of his White House and his presidency and everything else in the book.
Wow.
Fire and Fury, I believe, was the name
Who
of the book.
Is this? What's his name?
O'Bannon was his name, Steve O'Bannon.
Wow.
But he got someone else to do the authorship, the penmanship.
Like a ghostwriter or something?
No,
maybe?
he's named too.
Oh, okay.
But he was the source of information.
Exactly. And they know it.
And they, well, yeah. I think he went on some television shows
to promote it.
Yeah, to make his case. And the thing about it is, the book has been selling.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure anything like that's going to sell.
Well, look at it this way: when Trump ran for president, against what was that man he ran? It wasn't a man, was it? It was a woman.
Oh, Hillary, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He
didn't get the majority of the rank and file member person in the United States that voted. So he has a lot of, when he walks down the street. It was a very
close election.
When he walks down the street, he can look at 2 people and say, one of you voted for me.
Exactly. It was very close.
You know?
Yes.
About like that.
That's true.
And since he's become president, there's probably a lot of people that he has not endeared himself to.
Right, I'm
by
sure.
By some of the things he's said and some of the things he's done.
I'm sure.
And we don't know yet where whose court this ball is going to fall into about this tax cut.
Right.
The majority of the people are saying it's a good thing. But then you've got in the background, if you listen closely, you've got some saying, well, it's good for those who have money.
Well, you don't want it to be that.
But it's not good for the middleman and the small man, you know.
It seems to never be good for the middle class.
But like I say, you don't know where it's. You don't know where the ball's going to wind up. You got to wait and see.
Right.
But I can understand to a certain degree the need to relax some of the regulations on corporations as far as how much taxes they have to endure.
Right.
Because if they're the one furnishing a lot of the jobs, they need to be considered in favoritism.
Right.
I can understand that. But
Yeah,
I think they
too.
dropped it all the way down from 35% tax rate down to 21%, which is a big drop.
Yeah, it is. It's 15%.
But take somebody like Albert, it doesn't matter to me because my income is not based on my work performance. If it were, I wouldn't get anything, and that's about what I'm getting. But
well, enough about Trump politics. But we do have some political news locally, Papa.
Locally, that's what.
So it's a good segue into that. Well, you don't have to read it all, but just
there's going to be a primary election.
Yeah, primary in general.
And it's for all, not all offices, but there are 7. The county mayor is up for re-election. The trustee, the sheriff, the circuit court clerk, the county clerk, the register of deeds, and the road superintendent.
Which Marvin is retiring, so a lot of people are running for that office.
Wide open.
Yeah.
So that's a total of 7 positions that will need to be filled. And if you want to qualify for one of these positions, you must qualify, turn in your qualification papers by February the 15th.
February 15th,
which would
folks.
just be a month and a week.
Yeah.
A month and a week.
Yeah, so if they've not made up their mind, they better...
At noon on that day, 12 noon.
If you are planning on running for office or you're thinking about it, you better make up your mind soon.
And we suggest you either run on the Democratic ticket,
or
the Republican ticket, or the Independent ticket.
Yeah.
One of those 3.
I wouldn't suggest independent. That's just my theory. They usually don't work out too well.
Not
especially on the national scene. I don't even know why they try that. They can't seriously think they're going to win on the national scene as an independent.
Well, I have known some...
Well, it's rare.
It's rare.
Yeah.
But I have known some powerful people that chose to do so.
Oh, yeah. It's
mainly
just crazy,
probably to
though.
make a statement.
It has to be, because they don't have really a chance.
No. If you don't have your party backing you, you're going to lose a lot of your... of your hard-nosed party members. They're going to vote for their party member.
That's right.
I don't care who he is.
That's right. You're exactly correct about that one.
This is the truth. I heard a man, pretty smart man, he held a position in the county. I heard him say one time that he would vote for Satan if he ran on his party's ticket.
That's sad.
I'm not kidding. He said that.
That is sad. That really is.
Okay.
Well, another announcement that we'll tell you about, because of the recent weather and illness in the schools, been a lot of the flu going around. So school right now as we speak, there's no school today. There wasn't any last week.
No.
Because of this, it's caused a big basketball game to be rescheduled, folks. Now Bledsoe County and Sequatchie County will take on each other here in Pikeville. It will be on February the 6th. It'll start at 6 o'clock. So just keep that in mind. The Bledsoe-Sequatchie game, the game that's here in Pikeville, they'll also play in Dunlap, but the one scheduled for here in Pikeville has been rescheduled until February the 6th. So I want to definitely remind you of that.
That's a big game on the agenda for the year.
Absolutely. Always. That's the arch rival.
Arch rival. I couldn't think of that word. How do you spell that?
T-H-A-T.
Boy. How do you spell that?
He's trying to trick me, Allie. Well, you're already trying to do some trivia, so we might as well get into last week's trivia.
Oh, you liked last week's trivia. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Remember, Allie, it was very difficult.
Okay.
So maybe you've thought of a few of these by now. I hope so. What
instrument did Jack Benny use for a prop?
Lifeline. Oh. Saxophone.
A violin.
Oh. Good guess, Allie.
He would act like he would be playing, but
But
then he would
wasn't.
drop it to do a routine.
Right.
He wanted to tell a funny joke.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a mannerism about him that when he would say something, he would stand there and wait for the audience to laugh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just had a way about him of making you laugh at him, not for what he said, but for how he
What he
reacted at what you didn't do or what you did
Oh,
do.
okay. That's pretty smart.
He was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedian.
It sounds like a very good one.
Jack Benny.
A legend.
He had money, and part of the aura about him, he'd go sometimes down in his cellar to count his money.
Wow.
Okay. Next question. The comedian George Burns always referred to his wife. What was her first name?
Allie,
You got
I
that
believe it was Gracie.
Gracie.
There we go.
Oh, he
Okay.
loved his wife, and she was kind of scatterbrained.
They had a show a long time ago, but
yeah.
it was a funny show. Remember, I told you I saw some reruns of it.
And he always had a cigar.
Always, yep. I remember that about him.
Sure did. I remember you saying that.
Yeah. Well, he stayed
Okay.
popular. You know, I believe he was right at 100 when he passed away.
I think he was still
He was still popular.
He was still entertaining.
He
and you know,
was.
and Betty White is 96.
Yeah.
She
still
was on
going
the
strong.
cover of Parade magazine yesterday.
You know what? I saw that.
Yeah.
And it was a funny picture, wasn't it? Because they put on a whole bunch of candles. Did you see her face?
Yeah. But now she is still working.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was amazing.
But you know,
Very, very busy.
very, very big. Did you read what her two favorite things were?
It was funny. I can't.
Vodka and hot dogs.
Vodka and hot dogs. Yeah.
Oh my!
I thought that was a funny answer.
But she's always been working.
Always, yeah. And
All right.
very talented and very funny.
Yes.
Very funny.
Well, in the Golden Girls, the role that she played, none of those other women could have been her.
No, no. Her character was dumber than a box of rocks on that show.
But she always came floating right through it.
Oh, she did.
This is the way I am.
Yeah. She was from some town. They were all idiots at the town that she was
She
from.
was from another country, wasn't she?
No, but it was some town.
Olaf.
St. Olaf or something.
Yeah, I think so.
But I believe it was like Minnesota or
Oh,
somewhere.
okay.
Yeah, but they were all idiots in that town. You know, she was also on Mama's Family some too.
Yeah, and she had accepted a role she has accepted a role in another, in more than one.
I'm sure, yeah.
Okay, which comedian coined the phrase, "I don't get no respect"?
I did get this one right. Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, you did. You sure did. And he was a stand-up comic.
Yeah, he was also very popular.
See, some of your comedians were so good they could be the host of a show
Yes.
and
yes.
have guests on their show.
I like shows like that.
But since some of the
was
men
funny.
that were comedians and women would be guests on a show, whereas they would not have the wherewithal to be a host of a show.
Right. That's right.
So you had to have both kinds.
Yeah.
You had to have both kinds.
That's right. Joan Rivers always did a good job of filling in for Carson, didn't she?
Joan Rivers was
Yeah, guest host sometimes like that.
She had a mouth that kind of got a little bit off
Oh,
sometimes.
Oh yeah.
She could say some things that I wouldn't think she should say.
I know it. She come off with some dandies, yeah.
Name the crooner that hit the road 3 times with Bob Hope.
Oh, Allie, do you remember this one? He went on a road trip with Bob Hope 3 times.
Road to Rio. Road to. They made movies. Bob Hope was the comedian, and this man was with him in the movie, but he was a singer.
Oh, okay.
A crooner.
That gives me a little bit of a clue, but You know, I told you the thing I remember about Bob Hope was all those
UFO show.
Yeah, UFO. USO.
UFOs, unidentified flying objects.
Allie, you missed that one. Did you catch that?
That's got to be our number one.
We were talking about Bob Hope doing
serviceman.
USO. Papa said, yeah, he did those UFO shows.
Where'd that come from?
I guess an alien. I don't know.
When you get to be listen, let me tell you something. In 1935, Elvis Presley was born.
Okay.
In 1935, Will Rogers died in a plane crash.
Oh, really?
And the third big thing that happened in 1935.
Albert Roberts.
No, the Social Security Act was enacted. You thought I was going to say.
I sure did.
That was the year I was born.
I was just waiting on it.
But I'm saying I can forget things if I choose to.
Yeah.
And I do choose to sometimes.
Sometimes that comes in handy.
Yeah, you never know. All right.
All right, what's next?
What was Jack Benny's helper's name?
Oh, shoot.
I should not have known. I should have known not to have asked that one after I asked Jack Benny's prop.
You remember that one, Allie?
He was a black man. His
We
name was
didn't
Rochester.
do so good.
Rochester. And
I
he
never
had
got
a
it.
voice about him, and he'd come on the stage and he'd say they'd have an exchange and be some jokes told, and he was the straight man for Mr. Benny, you know. But he was his valet, he was his butler. He was always present.
Okay.
All right. Next question. How many states skirt our southern borders?
Now, me and Allie did get this one right, I believe, but it took forever, seems like. It was because there's at least 9 of them.
Well, there were 8 or 9. I forget how many, but
It seems like you said there's 8 and we 9. Seems like that's what happened.
well,
Remember that?
I think the 9th one you said was Idaho.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Idaho or Utah.
Let's see. You know, Utah definitely come into play. Yeah, I did say Utah.
You did.
Idaho would border Canada.
No, it
Or, I mean, it'd have a better chance of bordering Canada
better
than
chance.
Mexico. But, okay.
I never thought
it's like
about the northern border.
that'd be a good one, too. A good trivia question. But it was like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, New Mexico and Arizona, California.
That's 8.
Yeah.
You,
Somehow we come up with something else last week.
How are you going
but
to
I
get
don't-
another one in there? I don't know.
Hey, good job, Allie. At least we come up with it.
All right. What city and state is our Army team located in? Our Army football team.
This one was very tough. It's in New York.
New York is the state. And what's their mascot?
The Army. Army. Cadets. Is that their name?
Yeah, they're called the Cadets. That's their
I don't know
moniker.
what town is it? 'Cause you got to say today.
West Point.
West Point.
West Point.
Dang it.
And their
We should have known that
and
one.
their mascot is the Army Mule.
Okay.
When they came, I got to see them play at Knoxville one time. That's the only time I ever saw them come to Knoxville.
Yeah, they don't play them
But
very often.
let me tell you, they had that Army Mule parading all the way around
I
the stadium.
I
That was
bet.
their mascot. They were proud of it. All right. Hitting for the cycle in baseball is what?
I've never heard it termed that way, so I didn't know it.
What else could it be?
Hitting for the sock. I guess you're hitting for a home run. You're making it
home
sound
run is
very
not a
easy.
cycle.
Well, what is a cycle in baseball?
A cycle is a single and a double and a triple
shoot.
and a home run. You hit for the cycle. All 4 possible hits are hit by one batsman, and you say, I hit for the cycle. And you rarely ever do that. in one game.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't.
I don't know if I've ever saw it. Maybe a couple of times,
Well,
maybe.
I don't even know when I have, but
I know it.
But it
must be extremely hard to do. It would be.
It'd be hard to do. Because most time, if I got up there and got a hit, it'd be a single. I was not a home run hitter. One night, in playing the softball, I stepped up and got a hit 4 straight times, just a single. But the fellow that was following me, every time he stepped up and hit the ball, they threw me out at second. I never did get to score. I got on base 4 straight times.
Whoever batted behind you didn't do you no favors, did they?
Name the cities Michigan and Michigan State call home.
I got this one because it's Michigan. University of Michigan is in Ann Arbor. And Michigan State is in East Lansing.
Right. I have family. My mother's sister lived in Lansing, Michigan. And we went up there to see them one time, and they took us across the bridge into Canada.
Oh, okay.
Out of Lansing.
So is it Lansing or East Lansing?
Well, East Lansing, it's different, but they lived in Lansing.
Okay, but I'm sure it's very close to East Lansing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
That was last week's trivia.
Well, those were tough, so stay tuned, folks, after the break.
It'll be easier, won't it?
I hope so, but I can't never tell with you, so we'll see. Coming up, though, is this week's trivia right here on the Albert and Billy Show. All right, welcome back to the Albert and Billy Show. It's time for this week's trivia, Papa.
I'm ready. I'm as ready as I'll ever be. This week's trivia begins with question number... Well, I'm on the wrong page. Question number 1. Name the 3 popular board games that begin with the letter C.
Well, producer, you're right on time. That was a quick call, thank goodness. Need your help.
3 board games that begin with the letter C.
Candyland.
Candyland? That's a board game?
It sure is. Checkers.
Checkers is one.
Oh, let's see.
Where you drop them in a row.
Connect 4. That's one too.
Okay.
They just are, so sorry. We didn't say the ones you wanted
They're
us to.
in a generation that I don't know about.
Exactly. They're more my generation.
I'm wanting the old ones.
Sorry, bud.
First ones.
But you can say some now since we got it right.
Well, you said Chinese. What did you say?
Chess would be one.
Chess is one.
Chinese checkers.
All right, checkers and chess and Chinese checkers.
Yeah.
Those are 3 old board games. I don't know the new ones, Billy.
The ones I said are not new, by the way.
Oh.
Goes to show you how out of date you are.
You know how old I am, don't you?
The ones I said are like from the 80s, Papa. Early 80s.
My pastor says that I am so old that Jesus was in my Sunday school class.
No.
Number 2.
But you just need to get with the times. At least, like I always tell you, at least 1980 on.
I know.
All right, what's the next
There is a
one?
difference in USO and UFO, too.
That was funny.
Which Olympic sport uses an EPE?
Now what?
EPEE is the instrument.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's something that they use in the sport.
Is it the thing that's
It's Olympic sport. That's you can't even pronounce the word. You had to spell it for me.
Well, it's not pronounced the way it's spelled. That's the reason I wanted to do both. EPEE is the spelling of the.
Well, you made it hard
item they
intentionally. That is for sure.
All right.
You knew good and dang well what gonna get that one.
EPE. Okay.
Well, I'll take a guess at the sport. Well, no, I don't know what an epee is, so what? I don't know what it could possibly be.
Well, what about the Three
Is
Musketeers?
it
What
Winter
did they-
Olympics or Summer
What?
Olympics?
What did do?
Fencing.
Fencing, right. It's
Is that right?
It's
Is
a
that-
type of sword, only it's not
Okay.
the big blade sword, it's the one that sticks you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, because I never got that one.
No, you wouldn't have. I'm sorry, but you should be up to date on your sports.
On my fencing?
That's not something you watch every day. Is it?
No.
In working crossword puzzles, I guarantee that'll be in one about every week.
Really?
Kid you not.
Wow.
Also, Jack Benny's name will be in there. Number three. Since Ben Hogan's reign in his sport, give me the names of the three most charismatic, dominant players since Ben Hogan's time.
Well, this is just great since I don't
You
know
don't even know
who
his
Ben Hogan is.
You don't even know his sport.
No. Allie, I think you need to Google Ben Hogan.
Wrestling.
No, it's golf.
Hulk Hogan was wrestling. Golf.
Golf.
Like we always, when I think golf, I think Arnold Palmer.
That's one.
Jack Nicholson.
That's two.
Or Jack
Not
Nicklaus.
Now
Nicklaus.
that's a boo boo.
That's a boo boo. And Tiger Woods, but never.
That's it. That's it. Those are the three.
Oh, is
most-
that the answers?
You didn't mean to, did you?
No. That's pretty good, Allie.
But there's not three more dominant figures
No.
in that sport since the days of Ben Hogan. Each,
Right.
But see, Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer were peers.
Okay.
But Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer were both charismatic and both were dominant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they butted heads with each other.
It made for good TV ratings, I'm sure. Made golf interesting. Anytime you have a rivalry, it makes it.
We lost Arnold
better.
Palmer.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, there have been more things that I have read since Arnold Palmer died that said he was the single most notable character in the sport that elevated the sport to its popularity level.
I would say so. I believe that.
Because
Yeah.
the fans that followed him around the courses became known as Arnie's Army. Remember me telling you that?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, number
What
4.
what they call Jack's fans in?
Jack the Ripper.
I was trying to think of one. I can't think of it.
What was Maury Will's greatest asset to his team, and name his team?
He's making these very hard. I know sports, and yeah, I know.
She doesn't know sports.
But I don't know these
The
because,
difference is she doesn't want to know sports.
yeah.
And you don't care about Maury Wills.
Well, I don't know who he is, so
You
I don't know the
You don't
answer.
you don't care anything about my team either.
Okay, so we're talking about the LA Dodgers.
So he was a Dodger, yeah.
Okay.
His greatest asset you don't know though.
We're probably talking
But he was
about
one of the
50s.
greatest of all time. At his
Is
forte.
this from the 50s or 60s?
Well, probably 50s or 60s. Probably somewhere.
And you're
around
asking me what he was better at
Yeah.
in baseball?
there. You've never heard his name as a home run hitter, see?
Okay, so he was a good pitcher.
No.
Good RBI.
No, let's go on.
Uh,
Miami.
dang it. He's a good shortstop. Eye
Miami,
catcher.
Miami's college football team is known as the
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
There
I
we
knew
go.
you'd get that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Which city houses the Air Force Academy?
Oh, gosh. Allie, do you know where the Air Force is? It's be a good time to cheat. Be a good time
I've
to
been
cheat
there.
and Google it.
I have been there.
You've been there. It's in Colorado.
Colorado is the state.
Whoa.
Yes.
That was
I-
a complete guess,
I asked you
Papa.
what city.
Oh, you did good to get the state.
I'll give you
Okay.
50% of it because
Okay.
the city has Colorado in it.
Colorado Springs.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
What baseball stadium became known as the house that Ruth built?
That Ruth built?
Who is Ruth?
I don't know.
Come on, Billy. You don't know a baseball player.
Oh, see, now when you said Ruth, I started thinking about a woman. I was like, who in the world is Ruth? Okay, we're talking about Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
He played for the Yankees.
There you go. So the name
Yankee
of
Stadium.
Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
You deduced that brilliantly.
Well, thank you.
What baseball player became famous for hitting a home run dubbed as the shot heard round the world?
Oh, man.
It only happened one time in the history of baseball.
Really?
And that was what the media said about the home run that this player hit. They said this was the shot heard round the world. What was the player's name?
It's not a player that I just guessed, is it?
No,
Dang it.
you wouldn't know him if you didn't know the answer. If you hadn't read about in history about the baseball.
Hank Aaron.
No,
Mark McGuire.
no. But it was against. Let me tell you, it was against my Dodgers.
It was against Pete Rose.
No.
Dang it.
Next question. Willie Mays. I guess you realize a lot of these have to do with sports, don't you?
Yeah, but they're way before my time.
Have you ever heard of Willie Mays? Tell me.
Yes.
What,
But I don't know
what
he
time
did.
frame? What time frame?
A long time ago.
It was before 1980.
Way before.
Willie Mays, Billy, would.
I'm saying for you to get stuff past
I know.
1980.
Willie Mays was center fielder.
But I do remember that name, yes.
And he would catch a ball running away from home plate, have his glove out like that, and let the ball hit his glove like that.
Oh, wow. He was a dang good catcher
Dang
then,
good.
wasn't he?
Okay, Willie Mays
So he was the most popular
one of
center fielder.
baseball's greatest players of all time. What was
Right.
his team?
Ooh, the Yankees?
No.
He wasn't the Yankees.
He's in the National League. I'll give you a hint. Well, not in the American League.
But it wasn't their Dodgers.
No, he never did play
He
with my
played
Dodgers.
against their Dodgers.
I'd like to have had him.
Willie Mays. Was he with the Braves?
No. Next question.
Astros.
Next.
Cincinnati Reds.
You're just guessing.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Shut up.
Was that it?
No.
Dang it!
The last question. You associate the name Bobby Orr with what sport? And he's great at his sport, Billy.
I'm sure he was 100 years ago. I'm sure he was. You have intentionally made these hard today. I know you. Today was trivia. Let's stump Billy today.
Did we do it?
Yes, big time. Bobby Orr, is that what you said?
Bobby Orr.
What was the question again?
All I want is the sport he played in.
Oh, man. Baseball. He didn't even play baseball, did he?
No.
Football.
No.
Basketball.
Let's
Golf.
go to something else.
It wasn't even golf. You're on a golf kick.
No.
Man, a lot of those were hard today.
Billy, there's a lot of sports. And you cannot be knowledgeable in all of them, nor can I.
I don't know.
But if you are a avid sportsman, fan, every once in a while you will read about what the game was yesterday in the game.
I'm going to have to research sports.
Because you didn't read yesterday about Bobby Orr, did you?
No, dang it. Was I read
And
the
you
paper
did. I bet you a
yesterday.
$5 bill. You didn't read about Maury Wills yesterday.
No.
Well, there's no baseball going on right now.
Well, is it time for sports of all sorts, Allie? Or it's sports time, which we've been talking sports. Now let's talk about some sports that
you're
I may
familiar
know
with.
about. Yeah.
The football championship subdivision playoff.
Present day sports.
The subdivision playoff was Saturday.
Yeah, the wild card games.
No, subdivision.
Oh,
North Dakota State, James Madison.
oh, that's
Smaller
like Division
schools,
2 or something.
yeah.
Okay, how did that go?
North Dakota State beat James Madison, And the year before it was reversed.
And that was their national. No, it was just their playoff starting, right?
No, that was the
Their
final.
championship.
Their
Okay.
championship.
Well, congratulations to North Dakota State.
North Dakota State, they won 17-13.
All right.
Now in basketball, Saturday, Tennessee entertained Kentucky
Yes.
on the hard court.
And boy, had we been struggling before this.
Kentucky came in with a 12-2 mark.
Yeah.
Had not lost in the SEC.
No.
They had not lost. And we had lost 2 in a row in the SEC.
No, Tennessee had got off to a great start this season, especially the pre-conference schedule.
Yeah.
But boy, got off to
nine wins.
But got off to a terrible start in SEC play, 0-2.
Well, we were 9-4 Saturday.
Yeah,
before
so
the
now
game.
we're 10-4.
Now we're 10-4.
Huge win that'll look good on the resume.
76-65. That's an 11-point differential.
Yeah.
That's no fluke.
The second half was all Tennessee, I thought.
Well, they were 8 points behind at the half.
Yeah.
So there's a 19-point lead change.
That's right. Yeah. Tennessee really stepped it up. It was good to see them finish strong instead of, they've been finishing very bad. They've been getting tired.
Right. They've not been finished. But I believe at the half, the coaches coached, and they said, that player you're letting loose to fire those threes, cover him this half. And they did.
They did. That was a good adjustment.
I believe that made a big adjustment. So Tennessee made Kentucky's record fall to 12-3.
Yeah.
That's sad, isn't it?
I hate that for them.
We had 3 men in double-digit figures in scoring.
That's good to see, too.
So that boosted our confidence level.
Yes.
If you can beat Kentucky, you can beat anybody in the country.
That's right. You can.
That's
can.
Why
it's so
it doesn't mean you
will, but you're capable of
capable.
it. That's why there's no excuse for them to lose to Auburn in Knoxville. The Auburn game was the worst I've saw Tennessee play all year so far.
Yeah, I'd say you're right.
They just were not up for that game. The energy was low, and it should have been high. They should have been very energetic because of Bruce Pearl.
Bruce Pearl alone.
There's your motivation there.
But then Bruce Pearl had a motivation,
He
he imparted that to his players somehow.
That's exactly right.
Those players were not better than Tennessee players.
No.
But they played better that game.
They sure did, and they wanted it more. And I think Tennessee, though, was still exhausted from that heartbreaking loss to Arkansas. Sometimes it's tough. Yeah, they did, and I think it's hard to bounce back from a loss like that. And I think that's what happened.
It does something to your psyche.
It does. I really believe that's why they lost to Auburn. They just didn't have nothing left in the tank for that. They couldn't get up for it emotionally.
So they let it get out of their system.
Yeah.
And they were ready to play.
Yeah, now against Kentucky, they were ready.
Okay.
Finally.
All right. UT women took on Vanderbilt yesterday.
Yes.
They're 15-0 now.
15-0. That's great.
I can't believe that.
I can't either.
That's hot. She's still coach, isn't she?
I know. I think so. I think it's an imposter.
86-73.
Well, like we've been saying, I truly believe it's that assistant coach hire.
I think it's got to be a difference maker somewhere along the way.
It is.
Of course, Russell's 33 points didn't hurt.
Man, she had a career game, Papa. They couldn't stop her.
No,
Thank goodness, though, because Vanderbilt was shooting lights out from three-point land.
They weren't they, though?
Man alive, they played out of their minds.
But the next 4 games are going to tell the tale.
Gosh.
We've got 3 on the road here. We're going to play Texas A&M. We're going to play South Carolina. We're going to play Notre Dame.
That's brutal. Just
all
right
of
there.
those are ranked.
Yeah, on the road.
On the road. Then Mississippi State
and
is
Knoxville,
ranked.
But still.
That's 4 ranked teams in a row.
Yeah. Whoever done the scheduling needs to be knocked upside the head for that.
If they win 50% of them, I'd be tickled to death.
Oh, yeah, I would too. If they can go 2-2 during that stretch, that'll be an accomplishment. 4-0 would be, I wouldn't even know what to say.
Lights are out for the rest of the year.
Yeah. I mean, what they went 4-0, won all the games, though. That would be incredible.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
we wouldn't have any problem the rest of the year.
They should. You're right. If they can just take it one game at a time, that's what they said in the post game. You would have to do it one game at a time.
Well,
You'd have to think like that.
That's the job of the coach.
Yeah.
If he can
that's
get
right.
them to concentrate on this game plan
Yeah.
for this game,
That's right.
don't worry about it. Don't matter who you're playing the next week. Okay.
But yeah, they couldn't stop Russell though.
No.
I wish she'd play like that every
She had
game.
14 out of 20 shots.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a great game.
14 out of 20.
And then
Missed one foul shot.
really Tennessee's post game is what won.
Well, Green
'Cause
came in there off
Green
the.
did
Where'd she
great.
come from?
Exactly. You know, she's a junior college transfer, and she's from London, England.
London. Well,
But she's a wide body, Papa. She's
That's
a
what
bruiser.
won the game was their
Yes.
put back points. We out
Yes.
rebounded, but on that end of the floor, when you rebound and put back a point where you missed one,
That's right.
that's a plus.
Yeah.
Big plus.
I think they've needed a player like her for a long time. That just a big girl that can get in there and rebound and get physical.
Well, what that big body does, it knocks their body out of the
That's
way.
exactly right. Well, her and Russell just cannot be stopped. They're post, 33.
What
Green
is
had
Russell?
17. So that's
Yeah.
50 points between the two of them.
But how tall is Russell?
I believe 6'6".
Well, I think
Yeah.
Green's 6'3".
Yeah, she's
So
6'3"
you
or
got
6'4".
two
Yeah,
I have to look up either one of them.
yeah. They could do some damage. I hope they continue playing them at the same time. That worked well.
What this next stretch of 4 games is going to do, in my opinion, along with
Yeah.
a 15-0 run so far,
Yeah,
it's going to help recruiting.
I agree. You're right.
Help recruiting.
You're right. It'll help tremendously.
Okay,
with that.
UTC.
Yeah, how'd they do?
Men and women both played last week, and they both won.
Good.
The ladies' record was 11-5, but the men are 6-10. They're not doing too well.
I'm surprised at that. Is there just
It's
is it
just-
youth?
I don't understand it.
No,
But the women, I'm not surprised.
no. Jim Foster's a great coach.
He's a great coach. And then
They've got some big wins this year too.
go back to football just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee Titans won.
Yeah, I saw that.
Eddie Abbott watched it. What was it? 1 point, 21-20, I believe.
Yeah, it was very, very close.
But anyway, Mariota, what is his name?
Yeah,
He led that team to that win.
Now that was their wild card game.
That was their
correct?
first playoff win since 2004.
Gosh,
That's 14 years.
I knew they're struggling. I didn't know that much. So who they go on to play now?
I don't know
Do we
who the next is in the line. Falcons
Me
won
either.
too.
Did they? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
They won. But now, did you hear about John Gruden over the weekend? Remember that was number one recruit, the number one guy Tennessee wanted to be their
Yes.
coach.
What did happen?
He's been in the SC.
I've heard a little bit about it.
ESPN booth. His owner fired him 16 years ago.
From Tampa Bay.
Mark Davis.
Yeah.
He offered Gruden a contract after being out of football that long, sitting in the booth.
Yeah.
He offered him a
Commentating.
10-year, $10 million a year contract to get out of that booth and get down on the field.
Back at Tampa.
Yeah.
What did Gruden say?
Well, Eddie Abbott says he's going. He's already putting his staff together. But I'm thinking
Gosh, 10
to get
million
him
a
to do
year?
this, I mean, that would be enough.
Would you say 10 million a year?
For 10 years. That's $100 million flashing in front of his eyes saying, we want you.
Yeah, he'll go.
And I'm sorry I fired you.
Yeah.
Swallow your pride. Come on
Take
back.
100 million. I believe I could.
But I believe I heard, reading between the lines or behind the scenes,
Yeah.
that they might have offered him maybe even part of the team,
Ownership.
percentage-wise or something, to get him to come back.
Man, they want him back bad.
Tennessee would have offered him $3.5 million, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I thought he might get the Tennessee job, but I knew that it'd just costs an awful lot of money.
Well, he would not have wanted Nick Saban making more than him.
No, he wouldn't have, would he? You're
No.
right.
Okay, in golf, that sport that you don't know anything about. They had a tournament down in Hawaii.
Well,
Over the
bless their
weekend.
hearts having to go to Hawaii to
Yeah.
play. Poor fellers.
But the number one player, the number one golfer in the world, Dustin Johnson, won
Did he?
handily. He pocketed for his 4-day laboring $1,260,000.
Poor
Can you
feller.
believe that?
Gets to
$1
go to
million.
Hawaii and leaves with another $1 million. Poor guy.
You'd think somebody would pay $1 million to get to go to 4 days. I've never been, but I've made it so far.
Wow.
And tonight in football, we got one more game in
So the big
college on
one.
the college level.
The big one, Alabama and Georgia, all SEC national championship.
Who's going to win?
I mean, I'm sure everybody's picking Alabama probably,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll be different and say Georgia just to spice it up and make things interesting.
But will it make any difference
No.
who wins?
Well,
Because-
I would like to see Georgia win because it's been since 1980 since they won, and Alabama's won several times
Well, that's
recent
true.
years.
That's true. But I'm saying
But
this is
it's
a
good for the
no-win.
conference.
I mean, this is a no-lose situation.
That's exactly right.
For
The
you-
SEC
if-
wins.
SEC.
You're right.
You can't lose.
No,
Can't lose.
still shows that the SEC is still the top conference.
Well, what will happen tonight is the cream will rise to the top.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've always said.
You're right.
The
You're
best
right.
team will be there at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. We'll find out and see, won't we?
Right.
All right, well, that's it for sports of all sorts. After the break, it's time for Albertology right here on the Albert and Billy Show.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, welcome back to the Albert and Billy Show. And I've got a mild case of the hiccups over the break. And just hiccuped right there, as you can tell. But
What did
luckily,
you do on the break?
I promise my drink's not spiked, but you would think so the way I'm hiccuping.
You don't have to tell them to think it. They're going to know.
Yeah, I definitely got the hiccups and I can't hide it. I think I drank my Coke too fast. That's what Allie was telling me too. I was trying to hurry, so this is not cool. Having the hiccups. Thank goodness you do most of the talking in this segment.
I keep
I
talking.
think you should just talk. Keep talking.
So let's try to get through Albertology. Oh wow. Okay, here we go.
I had this last week, and so I've had it that long. But the name Roy Acuff is synonymous with country music.
Right.
This is an article by the Associated Press. He died in 1992, I believe,
Okay.
and he was 89 years old.
I was just about to ask that.
He was 89 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But his fiddle that his uncle made back in 1945
Mm-hmm.
in Maryville, Tennessee, from an apple tree, has turned up in the Goodwill organization in Kansas.
What about that?
And
That's
the
crazy.
donor just donated it to Goodwill for them to auction off online to get more money out of it. And as of week before last, the top bid was already over $7,000 for this fiddle that belonged to Roy Acuff.
That's so amazing. It made me hiccup. Okay, keep trying. I'm sorry, folks. I can't stop hiccuping. we might get through Albertology. I don't know. Woo. Okay, let's keep trying. You're doing all the talking, so that's good.
I keep talking.
Roy Acuff, yeah.
Roy Acuff was known for the hit Wabash Cannonball. I don't know if you ever
That's a
played
good song.
But
That's
here's
a good song.
tidbit you did not know. I bet you'll find
Well,
out.
let's put it this way: George Jones did a remake of that song.
All right.
It's
But
a good song.
do you know that he's the one that gave us the Tennessee Waltz?
Really? No, I
You
did
didn't
not
know that? That's a tidbit I didn't think that you would know.
No, that's a great song.
Well, I reckon it is.
Sure
he
is.
he was the first living inductee into the Country Music Hall of Fame. He was alive when they inducted
Okay.
him. He didn't have to die. But those
Oh, I
are
tell you,
two,
put that.
those two hits, Wabash Cannonball. I remember him. Listen, the country music stars of a bygone era would come to Bledsoe County, and they would go to the high school auditorium and put on a performance.
Wow.
I don't remember Roy Acuff ever doing it, but they would do things like that.
Well, how do we get them to come back?
Well, I guess you'd
How'd
have,
they pull that off?
I guess you'd have to have more than 1,600 people living in the town.
Well, they did. I mean, they couldn't have had many then either. Or not
Well-
anymore.
No, but everybody in the county came, you know.
Well, if everybody in the county came, that's more like
And listen,
that's like 10,000 people, Papa.
yeah, or more.
Yeah,
But let
more.
me tell you, when I was in school, we're talking about the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in school, the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior plays
Yeah.
and beta club play would be a sellout. We didn't charge, I don't think.
Yeah.
But every seat would be taken just to see a play put on by the students in the school.
That's good. That's the way it should be.
But in a community like this, people turn out to support things like that.
Right.
But Acuff was a fiddler, and he was part of a group that later became known as the Smoky Mountain Boys. Popular group, very popular group. And they came along with Night Train to Memphis. Take that Night Train to Memphis.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was actually in a film in 1940, and the film was called Grand Ole Opry. The Grand Ole Opry was at one time big stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't think it's as big now as it used to be.
Sadly, no. But it is still a big deal.
Well, I'd like to think. Carolyn and I
But,
got to go one time. Have you ever been?
No. I've been to, the Opryland and Opryland Hotel, but never made it there. I can't talk about hiccup. Well, Allie, this is going to be a good blooper reel. All of Albertology is going to be a blooper. But yeah, Mr. Acuff was obviously a legend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He ran for governor one time.
I didn't know that.
He ran for governor, banking on his popularity with the country music folk of Tennessee, because the Tennessee Waltz endeared him to the people of Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
It's still a very beautiful song.
It is. It's maybe kind of become our state song besides Rocky Top.
And see, it was before Rocky Top.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I
would
think
think
so. Yeah.
Anyway, in Lewisburg, Tennessee, they have the Fainting Goats. Have you heard of those?
They're hilarious.
You've heard of them.
I've seen them.
You been there?
Well, no, I've saw goats that do that, though, the fainting goats.
On television.
No, I saw them in person.
Oh, come on, where?
I believe, yeah. Well, yeah, somewhere like at a zoo or something where they'd run up to, they act like they're dead or something. Yeah. I saw them do that. It's funny.
They're called the myotonic goats. And they have the trait of falling over like they're dead.
Yes, it's funny.
When they're surprised. It doesn't have to be something, if they're frightened, if they're excited, they just fall over.
I know.
And these fainting goats have been videoed on YouTube. That's probably where you've seen it.
Well, I've definitely saw them on TV too, but I've saw it in real life too.
But anyway, the filming of them has garnered 1.4 million views since October the 29th, 2016. That was when they filmed them and put it on.
Wow. But I don't blame people for
1.4 million.
Yeah, I don't blame people for watching it. It's hilarious.
That's over 4,500 views a day.
Gosh.
I don't see.
That's incredible.
I don't see how you can do that. 4,500.
How it's so entertaining, but I mean, if you see them, it's really funny to watch them do that.
I don't think I've ever seen them. I've read about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, over the weekend, the legal sale of marijuana began in California on Monday of last week.
I thought that happened a long time ago.
No, it's Monday.
I thought it became legal out there like 2 years ago. I can't stop eating.
Well, now there's some states that have legalized it. California.
Yeah, I thought they were.
They're already standing in long lines because they only gave 100 licenses for it to be properly sold and legally sold. Some of the cities opted not to do it right now. Maybe they didn't get their paperwork in time.
Yeah.
On time. But listen, they are predicting the taxes on the sale of legal marijuana yearly will be $1 billion.
Goodness.
So you understand why a state would want it legalized?
Of course. Of course. That's a lot of money.
One of the names given to one of the products on sale is Oh Jesus. Geesus. Oh Jesus. Don't that make you sick?
I don't like that at all.
But that's
just so disrespectful.
They're flaunting what they're doing and how they're doing it. That made me sick.
Producer lady, you're going to put that heat on you, please. All on you. Are you filming me? Fainting goats. Oh, let's look here, Pop. I'm gonna show Papa, folks, a fainting goat.
It's okay.
He was excited. He was running. He was excited.
Yeah, show the viewers there, Allie. That's pretty funny right there. We'll have Allie show you guys a video of that at some point. I told y'all it was funny.
How many smokers are there? You know, there's been a downplay of tobacco and advertising of tobacco because used to,
that's true.
It was big time. Everything was sponsored by. You remember the Marlboro Man on television?
Right.
It was big time. Well, listen, Alabama has 21.5% of adults that smoke.
Okay.
14% of high school students smoke.
Well, are we still on smoking pot, or are we?
No, this is tobacco.
Oh, you switched up stories on me here. Sorry.
Yeah, that's over.
Okay.
Georgia has 17.9% of adults that smoke and 12.8% of high school students.
Okay.
Tennessee is number 3. We have 22.1% of adults that smoke and 11.5% of high school students who smoke. On the average, lifelong smokers die 15 years sooner than non-smokers.
Right.
That would be a cause to want you to stop
Yes.
smoking.
Yes. But on the pot, I thought California had already made it legal, so that's news to me.
It said they gave 100 licenses to 100 locations, and there will be more.
Oh, I think I see where I got mixed up at. California was allowed to do medical at
This
first.
is okay. I didn't clarify that.
Yeah.
This is recreational only.
Oh, got you. So yeah, now
Recreational. I didn't know.
that's where I got confused.
I should have prefaced that by saying
Well, that's
that.
okay. I just got a little mixed up on it
First mistake I ever made.
today, right?
Famous obituaries. People that
Okay.
died last year.
Okay.
Mary Tyler Moore,
Yeah, that's
January
a
the
big one.
25th. Mike Connors. Mike Connors was in Mannix, a detective series back over many years, back in the 60s. Martin Landau from Mission Impossible.
Oh,
Glenn Campbell on August the 8th.
we talked about that here.
Jerry Lewis on August the 20th.
I know it. They died close to
Not,
each
not
other.
very far apart, and same month.
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner,
Yeah,
publisher,
that's
he died in
right.
September. Touched by an Angel star, Della Reese.
Did she die?
She died on November the 19th.
Gosh, I did not know that.
Well, see, you don't know what you
and
don't
she
read about
just
them all.
passed away then, not long ago.
Well, November.
Wow. How old was Dell? Did it say?
No, they don't give their age. David Cassidy from the Partridge Family.
No.
He died November 21st.
I'm so shocked it's making me hiccup.
Jim Neighbors died November the 30th.
I did know Gomer.
Gomer Pyle
Pyle
was
died.
his last famous gig, I guess you could
Oh,
say.
that was his big famous gig.
Well, he was in Andy Griffith.
Yeah, but he played Gomer in that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then he got his own show.
Then comedians, Don Rickles. Don Rickles was one of those comedians that was before his time, I really believe.
Right.
But anyway, that was April.
Dave Cassidy, I can't believe that. Partridge Family. I think he had been sick for a while though.
I heard that. Bill Dana died June 15th. Bill Dana was on the Steve Allen Show, and I remember he was a writer for the show. And he came up with, look at the time, he came up with a character.
It's all right, you can go a little over.
He came up with a character, and the character, he would be with his back to the camera, and he'd turn around and they'd say, what is your name? He said, my name Jose Jimenez. And people would laugh their heads off just to hear him say that. He was a Spanish-speaking character.
Okay.
My name's Jose Jimenez. But anyway, that Bill Dana. Dick Gregory, black man. He died August the 19th. And then in the sports world, the sports writing world, Dick Enberg died.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
What month was that?
That was in September.
Gosh, I didn't know that one either.
You wouldn't remember Monty Hall, but Monty Hall was one of the
Yes,
original
let's
hosts.
make a deal.
Well, boy, you do remember.
Yeah.
That was
I
back in
didn't know he passed away
1930.
either.
1930s.
Yeah. Making me hiccup.
Okay. This is by no means a full list. I just picked out some of them to let us know.
That I hate that I didn't know about some of those. Definitely didn't know about Del Reese or Dick Enberg.
And David Cassidy.
Dave Cassidy, didn't know that one.
All right, let me tell you some stories.
Okay, you can go a little over if you have another topic you want to discuss,
Yeah,
Papa.
listen. Since you don't have to take us to the doctor and we're not on the radio,
You can go.
you can go
Okay.
as far as you want to over.
Okay, a 6th grade class is the scene.
Did you hear what we told
I
you?
heard.
Okay.
The teacher says to the 6th grade class, what are the harmful environmental effects of oil on fish?
Good question.
One of the students said, when my mom opened a can of sardines last night, it was full of oil and all the sardines were dead. Okay, these are from Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show.
Oh, they'll be good.
And I think it's from a year-end party. Yeah, it's from a year-end party on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, they'll be good.
This woman says, I stayed sober to avoid embarrassing myself in front of my coworkers.
Right.
Then my heel broke and I fell into the punch bowl. Bad luck. Bless her heart. My boss ordered 2 pizzas for 15 coworkers and ate one of them by himself.
Goodness.
Okay. My client, this is after photographing. After photographing my client for a few minutes, I felt compelled to stop shooting and say, I gotta tell you, that's a great smile you have. And beaming, he said, thanks, I got it for my birthday. And this lady's name is Kathy Lee Gifford. Do you know her?
Oh, yeah.
Kathy Lee Gifford said, I always say on the day I die, I hope I learn something new.
Well, it's a good way to look at it, I guess.
She probably will.
Yeah.
After having our second child, I was anxious to get home.
Are these true stories?
Yeah.
And it's not a joke?
It'll be cute.
Okay.
After having our second child, I was anxious to get home from the hospital to show our 5-year-old daughter her new little sister. When I got out of the car, I asked my daughter what she thought of our bundle of joy. I expected a gleeful response, but instead she looked disgusted and replied, I told you I wanted a puppy. She didn't bring a puppy home, did you?
No, she didn't. That's funny, though.
This is a pop quiz. Why do you look surprised in all your selfies? Don't you know you're going to take the picture?
Yeah. So true. So true.
At a recent wedding I attended, the groom and groomsmen stood at the altar in eager anticipation of the bride's arrival.
Right.
My 3-year-old niece sitting next to me was also filled with anticipation. And she pointed to the men, and then she shouted, I wonder which one she'll pick out.
These are all good.
Yeah. These are from Emily Howe.
Okay. Well, thank you, Emily.
On a wintry day, my 90-year-old father was in the supermarket trying to pay for his groceries.
Right.
90 years old. I'm glad he's able to get to the store.
Right.
Bundled up against the cold, his gloved hands were having trouble retrieving and counting the exact change. I wouldn't have done it with my gloves on.
No.
The transaction evidently took too long for the man behind him in line, who cursed under his breath. And Dad stopped counting, turned around and said, you be quiet or I'll write a check. Can you imagine writing a check with your gloves on?
No.
Oh, mercy.
These are all good today,
Yeah,
Papa. They are.
I like it. I love walking. I love waking up to the sound of birds arguing with their spouses. Sound like my husband and a wife too.
There's my hiccups back.
My ultrasound technician told me about a colleague's patient. Her doctor had told her she might be having twins.
Well, they look like cavemen.
I can't tell that one up there.
Oh.
The doctor told her she might be having twins, and the young mother-to-be seemed anxious. But at the exam, the technician assured her, you're not having twins. There's only one baby in there. The young woman gave a big sigh of relief and said, "Oh, thank God. I really don't think I could have stood being pregnant for 18 months."
Shoot. Big dummy.
A woman is in an exclusive pet store looking to buy a sweater for her dog.
Okay.
For her dog.
Yeah.
After witnessing much hemming and hawing and the scrutinizing of the size of each item, the salesperson finally piped up and said, "Why don't you bring the dog in for a fitting?" he said. "I can't do that. It's a surprise."
Shoot.
For her dog.
You know what's sad is there's people really like that would do that.
Now listen to this one. A turtle is crossing the road
Okay.
when he's mugged by two snails. The police show up to investigate the incident, and they ask the turtle what happened.
Yeah.
And the turtle was so shaken up, he said, "I don't know, it happened so fast."
That one was good.
All right. An elderly woman lived in Canada,
Okay.
near the North Dakota border. And one day her son ran into the house holding a letter. "Mom," he said, "the government has decided that our land is really part of the United States. We can choose whether we're Americans or Canadians." "Well, we'll say we're Americans," the mother said.
Yeah.
"I can't stand another one of those Canadian winters."
Shoot. That made me hiccup too.
These are from Stephen Colbert
These people are big dummies.
on the late night show here.
Yeah, he's
He
funny.
says, "Sometimes when I'm out to dinner with my wife, I'll propose. So they'll give us a free dessert."
There you go. That's smart.
And then he says, "I like being an adult, but I wish all my shoes were Velcro.
Yeah.
When I go into a McDonald's
Definitely.
that has the calories printed on the menu, I pretend they're points and I'm going to win."
That's right. I like his way of thinking on that.
$1 billion idea.
Billion
A
dollar
$1 billion
idea.
idea. A smoke detector that shuts off when you just yell, "I'm just cooking."
That's $1 billion idea.
That's a $1 billion idea.
Well, that's the sorriest one you told today. The rest of them's been good.
Okay, the crazy things.
What do you think, Allie?
The crazy things people said
Rest
while they were
Rest of
asleep.
them's been really good. Okay, crazy things we say while we're asleep. This could be
Just
good.
last week, my 8-year-old daughter rolled over in my bed
Mm-hmm.
where she had fallen asleep. And she said, "Mom," no, said, "I want pizza." And then she paused. "And a beer." The mother said she nearly fell out of the bed. 8-year-old.
Oh, that's a good one right there.
Richard Branson, the adventurer, founder of the Virgin Atlantic Airways, offered this advice to fellow thrill seekers. If you're embarking around the world in a hot air balloon, don't forget toilet paper. Once we had to wait for incoming faxes. That would be bad.
That'd be real bad.
Lice was detected on a student at my grandson Ryan's school.
Ugh.
And the teacher told the girls in Ryan's first grade class to wear their hair in a bun to discourage the lice.
Mm-hmm.
Needing clarification, my grandson Ryan said, "A hot dog bun or a hamburger bun?" Wonder which one would be best. I don't know which one would be best.
These are crazy.
All right, this is the last one.
Okay, a day's work, it says.
That's
Or is that a different one
you
too?
can't say that one.
That's two he can't say.
Well, it's you just can't work it. Okay, my friend, a county public health nurse, was reviewing a student's medical records when she noticed something. The girl and her mother shared the same first name.
Okay.
And the friend asked, "Doesn't that ever get confusing?" "Oh no," she said.
So.
"I just call her mom."
Shoot.
No big deal. She's my mom. I call her mom.
Yeah. He's making it confusing for other people.
Well, that's all I've got today.
Is that all you got today for Albertology?
That's all. I've got enough for another week.
I bet.
Got enough for another
Well,
week.
hey, we said you could do more today if you wanted to, but we'll just save it, I guess, for next week. But you've always got a whole bunch of Albertology, according to him, right, Allie? We hear that all the time.
I've got a whole lot more.
I've got enough for 2 or 3 shows,
And I
he'll
didn't
say.
tell any of my stories.
No, you could have. Your jokes.
My jokes.
Yeah, because you confused me with that. Because remember, I'll never forget, I laughed
Yeah.
at a real serious story a few weeks ago because I thought it was going to be a joke. So, yeah, don't confuse me any more than I already am. Well, sorry about the hiccups. Knock on wood, they're doing a little bit better. So that was rough there for a few minutes. But thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for watching us on Channel 18 Valley TV and WUAT AM 1110 radio station.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. And don't forget, like we said earlier, you can always watch us on YouTube. You can watch all the episodes of the Albert and Billy Show. And we'll be back next week, same time, same place.
Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.